Hey, I just had somebody message me and ask me a question. Don't get very often, so I thought I'd make a quick video about it. What is a leveling war? So, what is a leveling war in poker? What do they mean by that? So, basically, what that is, that's the old "I know that you know that I know that you know that you know that I know." The one of those kind of things. So, basically, what leveling war is when you first start playing poker, you need to figure out what your range is. So, when you play cards, what's your range? Okay. Then at some point in time, you start trying to figure out what your opponent's range is, and not just their opening range. What's their checking range? What's their betting range? What do they bet with? Okay. And then then you even want to try to figure out what their raise range is and different such things. So then at some point in time, you're going to try to figure out what your opponent has. Okay. So that's sort of level 2. Okay. I know what I have, level 1. I'm trying to figure out what my opponent has, level 2. Then it gets into what do I think my opponent thinks my range is, okay? So that's when we're starting to play poker here. So that's when we go, what do I think my opponent thinks that I have? And then we get into what do I think my opponent thinks that I think that they have, okay? So this is level 3, level 4 stuff in poker, and this is what we call leveling wars, okay? You're typically gonna hear commentators on television that talk about leveling wars when you start seeing people 3 betting and 4 betting and 3 betting and 4 betting and 5 betting and this and that, and it's typically when they're pretty light, okay? So a lot of players nowadays are betting light on 3 and 4 bets, betting light, which means they just don't have great cards. They're just 3 betting to 3 bet, 4 bet to 4 bet because they think their opponent is weak, okay? So a lot of times when you hear this on television, it's because the commentary is like, hey, this guy knows that player X here is opening light or 3 betting light, so he's 4 betting. Well, player Y here knows that this guy thinks that he's probably 3 betting light, so he's 4 betting light, so he's going to 5 bet, okay? And that's basically what leveling wars is. Pretty easy.